Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dot Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. Round 19 of our World Championship is here, and it's time for the Malaysian GP here in Sepang. So in pole position is Joan Mir with Johan Zarco and Fabio Quartararo on the front row, Vinales, Miller and Oliveira on the second, Marquez, Bagnaia, Espargaro, Grant, Binder, Martin, Nakagami, Espargaro, Morbidelli, Rins, Marquez, Bastianini, Petrucci, Leccaona, Rossi, Marini and Salvadori at the back of the grid. So from 10th position we are on board the Aprilia, we'll look to the red lights and away we go! That's a decent start, but looks like everyone got a pretty decent start. Let's have a look and see if anyone gets up on the inside. On the right hand side, of course, we're going to dive to the left here and try and go around the outside of Marquez. Firmly on the brakes we'll go, going around the outside. Vinales has run it a little bit too deep. We're going to dive up the inside of Vinales, up on the inside of the Spaniard. There is the two French riders, Johan Zarco and Quartararo. A little bit of contact made there with Zarco, but both men are still on board their respectable motorcycles. So already from 10th position up into 4th by 2 corners. You can't get much better than that, can you? So Johan Zarco, our biggest championship threat right now, is in 3rd position, us in 4th position. You better believe we're in a great possible chance now for a World Championship at the end of this Grand Prix, or at least going into Valencia the next round. So on the left hand side now for turn 5, Joan Mir, Quartararo, Zarco are all in our sights for the time being. Now I'm not sure if the guys are going to get away from me or if we're going to be able to hold our own. So for the time being, stick in power setting 2, get in behind the Frenchman, get him behind the Ducati, get him behind the Yamaha if we can, and then the Suzuki. We have 5 manufacturers right now in the top 5 positions. Suzuki, Yamaha, Ducati, Aprilia and Honda. How great is that to see as we get on the left hand side now for that very slow and very tight corner of turn 9. Flick it gently to the right for turn 10, and let's see if we can attack Zarco quicker rather than later. Can we get up on the inside? We're getting closer and closer, as you can see. Turn 11, is this the point where we try and claim Johan Zarco's 3rd position? Not quite. Coming around the outside though for turn 12. That would be a brave and bold manoeuvre. We'll get it done. We're going into 13. Zarco's holding firm, but Grant on board the Aprilia has that little bit more to get up on the inside. Wonderfully done there on board the Aprilia. The Aprilia just turned that little bit better than the Ducati Desmosedici GP21 that Johan Zarco is on right now, of course. So we've got 3rd position. We have Johan Zarco's number. Can we beat the rest of them? Quartararo and Mir, we ran it a little bit deep going into the 15th corner. Can we get our... Yes, we can still hold our position. I was a little bit concerned that Johan Zarco would have the power to get past us going into the straights, going into the first lap completion for the very first time, of course. Hard on the brakes will go for turn 1. This is our bread and butter, the firm, hard braking zones. This is where we strive, and we are striving already, getting 0.5 of a second away from Johan Zarco already. So on the left hand side we'll go now for turn 2, and for the right for turn 3. We have a wonderful chance of keeping Zarco at bay and beginning to attack Quartararo. You know, honestly though, I've got to think smart here. We have a World Championship to contend with right now. We're ahead of Johan Zarco. We're going to take 4 points away from him. We're going to be 16 points clear from Johan Zarco going into Valencia, which is absolutely huge. I know we want more, but do we need to be smart about this one? We have a 3rd place well and truly secured right now, with plenty of fuel and power still left to go. Plenty of Grand Prix left to go as well, of course, but still, you have to think about the championship more than the actual race right now. But I do feel like we are closing in on Quartararo and both Joan Mir. So if we can get to them without pushing too much, then I'm going to just try and stay within ourselves, stay calm, and just try and chase down Quartararo and Joan Mir. But into the left-hander of turn 9, the gap has come down. It's now down to 0.6 of a second to Quartararo, and 0.8 of a second is the gap to Johan Zarco. So we have this one pretty well secured as things stand. And I tell you what, guys, a little bit of a secret, but just between you and I feel fantastic in this track right now, and I feel fantastic with this Aprilia RSGP. Don't tell anyone, but I think I might end up going for the victory here. I might actually just go for it. I know I need to be smart, I know I have to be careful with it, but I just can't help myself. I might have to use a bit of power setting 3 just to chase down Quartararo a little bit. If we're already a second clear from Zarco, I think we're going to be safe in this Grand Prix. This is just me trying to think ahead a little bit. As we get on the left hand side now for turn 15, the gap to Zarco is now a whole 0.8 of a second, almost a second now actually. It's 1.1, and the gap to Quartararo 0.2 of a second. I would be a fool if I didn't try it now. Grant is the fastest man on track with a 1:57.902 as we go hard on the brakes for the first corner. Right down easy boot touching the floor. You know the score, rhyming accidentally. As we get on the right hand side for turn 1, left hand side now for turn 2. Can we dive at the inside of Quartararo? That'd be a wonderful move. We got it done. run, but we didn't quite able to make it stick, unfortunately, as we now get onto the right-hand side for turn 3. Turn 4 beckons a move, it really does. I'm pretty confident going into the 4th corner, but let's not push too much. Let's not be too brave, let's not be too confident. Let's just stay within ourselves and focus on the Grand Prix and the task at hand right now. And of course, the big picture is stay ahead of Johann Zarco. Take as many points possible away from Johann Zarco. As things stand right now, we'll be taking way more points now. Actually, I was incorrect earlier. I said we'd be taking 4 points away from Zarco. We'd only be taking 2 or 3. Now it would be a case of taking 5 points if we get into the 2nd position. So that would be way more important right now. Bring on the power. Bring on the battle from Quartararo and give me 2nd position. As we now go into the left-hander of turn 9, Joan Mir still holding firm at the front. He's about 1 second away from this battle for 2nd place, so pretty confident stuff for the man on board to Suzuki. Not seen Joan Mir win a race this season, I don't believe, or at least if we have, it was a long time ago, because I certainly don't remember it. Of course, the World Champions defence didn't go as planned right now, as Quartararo makes a little bit of a mistake there going into the 12th corner, and now he's into the clutches of the man on board the Aprilia, the new championship leader, chasing the real-life championship leader, Quartararo. Are you going to be giving up that 2nd position? I've already claimed one Frenchman's scalp. Am I going to be claiming yours as well? So hard on the brakes will go in a moment's time. Are we later than Quartararo? Are we the last of the late breakers to chase down the Frenchman ahead? Not quite close enough yet, but you better believe with the slipstream of this Aprilia, short shifting all the time with power setting 2 enabled, we don't even need to use power setting 3 to get past on Quartararo. We go around the outside, the fans are loving this one. What a view they've just had for that one, going hard on the brakes now into the 1st corner. The Aprilia has got it done. Aprilia versus Yamaha, the Aprilia stands firm and has now got ahead of Quartararo. Joan Mir up into 1st position, of course, by 0.4 of a second. The battle for the victory is now truly on. Now, Johann Zarco in 4th position, he needs to try and get back at us, otherwise his championship challenge is well and truly over. But hard on the brakes will go for the right-hander of the 4th corner, nice and tight to the apex there, bring on the power, get into the slipstream of Joan Mir. I tell you what, I'm feeling great on this track right now. I feel better and better as the laps progress. We did in qualifying, we did in practice, I felt good in all of those sessions. We didn't quite get the qualifying position we wanted to, but it doesn't really matter because we're already up here in 2nd place with plenty of laps remaining in this Sepang International Circuit. So on the right-hand side, we'll go for turn 7, a bit of a mistake coming in from the way on board. Damn it, we made the mistake and we let Quartararo get through. Now Quartararo's through, we're going to make it a little bit harder for us to try and get the victory. But oh my lord, look at that for a move going up in the inside of turn 9. How confident are you on the brakes? This confident. You've just seen it. That's how confident we are with this Aprilia, and this is why I have re-signed with the Aprilia for next season as well. Because if we don't win the championship this year by just bad luck, you better believe I'm going gung-go and all out for next season's championship challenge to win on board the Aprilia. And if we get the job done this season, why not go back for back? Never done back-to-back victories in MotoGP before on the same manufacturer. I've always ended up moving to another, but this year I want to stick with the Aprilia. Hashtag Aprilia Ace in the comment section down below, guys and gals. We now lose 0.7 of a second to Joan Mir, but I still feel pretty good. We have a couple of key points in this track that we are significantly quicker than the Suzuki, and the same can be said for him as well. It's just a matter of time now about piecing all together, being confident and just piecing it together, piecing this puzzle together. I can never seem to get the full consistent lap. Maybe that time in Austria, but pretty much I always end up making a little bit of a mistake here and there. Getting the full consistent of the 4 sectors is very difficult to piece together, but you better believe that's what we're going to have to do if we want to chase down Joan Mir, because he is pushing me to the limit here. And I'm going to have to be careful as Maverick Vinales and Marquez have both crashed there. Something has happened behind, and I've just noticed that Pecco Bagnaia moved himself up into 6th position. Unfortunately, that is championship challenge over for him, but Johann Zarco still in it by a couple of points. Right now, I do believe the gap in the championship would be around 20 points, 19 points. Yeah, that's a massive gap, and if we can win here against Joan Mir, I do believe if Johann Zarco stays in that position, we'll have a 24 championship point advantage. We have to go for it now, we really do. If we're this close to Joan Mir and I'm still putting in some very consistent lap times and I still feel great on the motorcycle, we have a wonderful chance. It is simple as that. Let's get hard on the brakes now for one of the best parts of the track for us. Turn 9. Going into the left-hander at turn 9. Goodness me, we were really firm on the brakes there to try and slow this motorcycle down. We do really well in those shorter, smaller and really tighter corners. We do well for the slower corners. I've got to say, anything on the brakes this season the Aprilia has dominated at, but the gap is now 0.8 of a second to Joan Mir, so we're going to have to probably start using some power setting 3. I'm going to try in the back straight in a moment's time, going into the entry of turn 15, so coming out of the exit at 14, bring on the power setting 3 as we straighten the bike up. Unfortunately, with the way I position my hands in the control, I can't move to the D-pad when I'm moving the analog stick, so I have to save it for the straights. We now go hard on the brakes for the final corner on the penultimate lap in a moment's time. This is going to get hairy if we can get close enough to Joan Mir. Bring on the power setting 3, and now it's time to go all out. We could play it safe, we could take the second position, but hey, I'm making content, I want to make it as exciting as possible, so be it if we crash. Going into turn 1 then, hard on the brakes, we are 0.2 of a second down from our fastest lap of the race from earlier on, the 57.902, but we have closed in very nicely to Joan Mir. That power setting 3 has certainly helped us on the back straight and the start going into turn 1. But now on the right hand side, I'm not using power setting 3 until we need it on those straights. So hard on the brakes will go for the 4th corner. Joan Mir holding firm. He is doing a stupendous job right now of just staying at the front of this grid, trying to not get involved, trying to not allow us to get anywhere near him, and he's doing the best job about not letting us get into his slipstream. If we get into the slipstream of the Suzuki, you better believe we're going to get through. Nice entry going into turn 6 there. I didn't snap the bike like I have been doing on the previous laps. Thankfully, a little bit wide there, but no penalty was given as we go in the right hand side for turn 7. Nice and tight apex for the turn 7 and for turn 8. Maybe bring on power setting 3 just briefly going into the left hander here for turn 9. Very firm on the brakes, so we're going to get completely out of shape. Don't touch. Oh, I really didn't want to go in there too hard and end up clattering into the back of Joan Mir. I don't like to win dirty, and I certainly don't want to bump the world champion, of course. Getting on the right hand side for turn 11, up by 0.3 of a second almost. We have a great chance here of closing in on Joan Mir, but it's still half a second is the gap as things stand. Quartararo's pretty much out of this one right now. It's 0.7 of a second, and you may actually see a 1 second gap going into turn 15 in a moment's time, especially when we go hard on the brakes. But power setting 3, I call upon you once again. Get me closer to Joan Mir, please. Get me into the slipstream and get me onto the coattails of Joan Mir, because once I get hold of it, I'm not letting go. Better believe that as we go into the left-hand side for turn 15. Look how good we were on the brakes there. Mir's ran it a little bit wide. We have a wonderful chance now getting into the slipstream of Joan Mir. We're going to smash the lap record. Across the line we will go. It's a 1:57.466. Look at us powering through. The speed on board this Aprilia is unbelievable as we go hard on the brakes for turn 1. Is Joan Mir going to be holding it firm going into the second corner? I don't see him anywhere. I think that's it. I think that's curtains. I don't see Joan Mir anywhere. He's 0.3 of a second behind. That could be it already. The power of the power setting 3. This Aprilia with all these upgrade engines, or the upgrades to the engine, my apologies, I can't even speak because the excitement is brewing. We will be 24 points clear from Johann Zarco if we stay in this position. Mir is a 10th and a little bit. He is still hanging around. This battle is not over by any shape or form. There is Joan Mir on the left-hand side of your screen there. He is not giving up without a fight, and a full respect to the world champion. But you better believe that we are that little bit more determined. A 10th of a second is what separates us going into the 7th corner. And for the final time of asking, you better believe we are going to be stupendous going into the break for the left-hander of turn 9 in a moment's time. This is the make or break part for Joan Mir. He has to beat us going into the 9th corner, and if he can't, I'm going to say it's curtains. I think that's it, guys. I think we've got the job done, I really do. I don't believe Joan Mir is going to just be able to chase us down now for 0.3 of a second. We have been so good this race. This may have been one of the best races I've had in MotoGP 21. Probably, it's so important as well because of how much this matters for the World Championship. If we can take a 24-point World Championship lead going into Valencia, it's pretty much curtains. All we would need to do then... Oh, Joan Mir is still there! I'm getting a bit too hyped. What am I doing? I've completely forgotten about Joan Mir there. I thought he'd given up the fight, but he certainly hasn't. Are we going to be able to hold on going into the final corner? I need to start thinking about what I'm talking about because I was getting too excited thinking it was all over and dusted. But we're going running a little bit too wide in for 15, but I think we've got the job done now. Now we can start thinking about the future. But what a wonderful performance. Hands are in the air. Another victory goes to the way of Dr. Ace and Matt Grant, and that is a full 24-point championship lead ahead of Johann Zarco. So a quick recap, Grant wins with Joan Mir and Fabio Quartararo on the podium, and Johan Zarco and Bagnaya's championship challenge is pretty much all and done. So looking at the championship standings, we are indeed correct, 24 points clear from Johan Zarco and a whopping 42 clear from Pecco Bagnaia. You better believe that we have 9 fingers on that trophy right now. The only thing we've got to do is the formality of finishing Valencia, and we've won the championship. A look at the team championship, and Aprilia have just moved themselves up into 2nd place, just 12 points behind Ducati Lenovo team. This is actually going right down to the wire, but I still believe Ducati are going to get the job done, but very, very interesting so far. And a look at the Constructors' Championship. Yeah, we know the score. Ducati have well and truly dominated that one all season, and of course they've already won the championship well and earlier on in this season. But for now, the Parc Ferme celebrations, the podium celebrations, because once again Dr. Ace is on the top position with Matt Grant. What an amazing job for Matt Grant. What an amazing job this season has been, because the Aprilia was nowhere to start the season, and now we're looking at a potential World Championship in the next round in Valencia. But guys and gals, wow, this has probably been one of the best races I've had this season because of how important things are and how critical this is for the World Championship. We ended up fighting through and taking a bit more risk than we probably needed to and winning the race here in Sepang. It's my first time winning here in the Malaysian circuit, and boy, does it feel good. So guys and gals, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment and subscribe if you did. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dort Race upload and live stream. And upon that note, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dr. Ace video.